Hooray! Minecraft! We've created a new server and we're going to show people how to play Minecraft, how to survive.
12 years ago, on December 2nd, 2010, a little channel called the Yogscast would release their first episode of a new Minecraft survival series. Minecraft survival series have become a popular trend for the time, and the Yogscast wanted to try their hand at this new and upcoming game. Little did they know that they would become ingrained in so many people's childhoods and inspire an entirely new genre of YouTubers. Today, I will be talking about Shadow of Israphel and its impact on the internet and all of us growing up. Shadow of Israphel was a multi-part survival series about Simon and Lewis and their adventures in Minecraft. The series started off as any other Minecraft survival series, with Simon and Lewis struggling to establish themselves within this new world. This involved surviving their first night and getting familiar with the game's mechanics. The series was mostly played on early versions of Minecraft, which to me gave it more charm. There was something about those early versions of Minecraft that really brought out your imagination. Maybe it was the fact that there was very little in the game to begin with at first, which made you want to innovate. Or maybe it was the liminal nature of the game, with legends such as Herobrine feeding off that. There was something about the emptiness and simplicity that made the game so interesting. Sure, there wasn't much in the way of features yet, but everyone recognized the potential and chose to use these limitations as fuel for innovation. One of these innovative ideas would come in the form of Simon and Lewis' adventure through Minecraft. Disclaimer, I will be talking about the first season of Shadow of Israphel, so if you want to give it a rewatch before watching this video, please pause the video now. If you would like to skip the recap, I will be putting a timestamp on screen right now. Simon the Dwarf and Lewis the Starship Captain led us on their journey to discover what Minecraft was all about. The series starts with Simon and Lewis struggling to learn about Minecraft's game mechanics. They wander about this new world they had now found themselves in, taking in its sort of liminal beauty Minecraft had been known for at the time. The two managed to survive their first night and begin to clear out a cave to turn into their house. Things would take a change when Simon and Lewis would come to the realization that there was something more afoot in their Minecraft world. In episode 6, Simon and Lewis noticed that someone had built a strange tree in front of their house. Things begin to escalate in the next episode, where Simon and Lewis come across a stone pyramid and stone monuments built across their world. Little by little, they notice that someone has possibly been coming onto their server and building things without their knowledge. Both of them seem perplexed, as both of them deny building these strange structures. It even comes to a point where Simon sets off a TNT trap that was intentionally left at the back entrance of their house.
Oh my god! No! Why? Oh, for goodness sake! What the hell happened here?
It was a trap! It was a baby trap!
What do you mean?
Right by the back entrance! There's a baby trap! Someone put in a baby trap!
What do you mean someone put in a...
Despite all of these happenings, the two try to carry on as best they can, doing their best to learn more about Minecraft's mechanics and progress throughout the game. Ignoring these strange findings, the two would acquire iron tools and eventually repair their house. Things seem to be going well until after a mining trip, they come into contact with a strange figure responsible for all these structures.
Yeah, okay, so that is like the corner bit. Ow.
So you see that? You see that name there, Simon?
Fuck! Who the hell is that?
I have no fucking idea. Whoa! Are they?
Ow! What the... They're shooting arrows at me!
Oh my god! What are we supposed to do?
A strange player by the name of Israphel appeared to them, raining down glitchy arrows as they struggle to patch up their roof. The two never get a clear glimpse of the figure, but after a while they give chase, eventually losing track of the figure for the time being. Who was this strange person? Was this some sort of NPC that was just added to the game? How has someone infiltrated Simon and Lewis's world if this wasn't the case? Was this all some sort of elaborate prank? All of these questions ran through Simon and Lewis's brains, as well as the audience's. What was the purpose of Israphel's buildings? Was he a friend, foe, or some sort of Minecraft anomaly? The two continued despite this, renovating their house once more and acquiring a diamond pickaxe, as well as a nether portal. Lewis eventually built a staircase he wanted to work on, and they even made a tunnel to the nether portal they had just built. Everything seemed to be going their way, despite this strange encounter. It was when the two updated the game to Minecraft Beta 1.0.2 that everything would change. Suddenly, as the two were working on renovating their house, Israphel appeared once more, this time showing up inside their home. He fired arrows at the two once again, but this time Simon and Lewis were not going to take this lightly. They gave chase after the figure, stumbling across another strange structure. The pale figure led them down a stone path. They followed this stone path for a while, until they would stumble across something just as strange as their encounters with Israphel.
Oh God, is this someone else? What the
Isn't that
fuck?
a beer? Has he got a quest for us?
The two stumbled across another figure at the end of the stone path, named Old Peculiar. The two looked at each other perplexed. Was this another person, or something a part of the update that was just released? Who was this strange man? The man greeted the two and invited them into his home, where they were treated to a refreshing bucket of milk, a traditional Minecraft custom. The two treat the man as if he is some sort of NPC and interact with him. Old Peculiar introduces himself and welcomes the two to Terrorvale. The two are a bit unnerved, but despite this, they ask if there's anything they can help with. This leads Old Peculiar to introduce the two to our second character, Daisy Duke. Daisy Duke is the village blacksmith and offers the two a quest after some flirting from Simon. The quest leads the two down into some caves under the village in search of some diamonds. The two complete the quest and report back to Old Peculiar and Daisy to receive another quest, to talk to the Reverend in the church, while Daisy makes him their armor. The two head over to the church and learn that the Reverend has lost a son due to creepers, and to be tactful because of this, according to Old Peculiar. The Reverend explains that he needs the two to retrieve a Bible that was lost in his house, due to being overrun by monsters. The two accept this quest and head down to the Reverend's house. They struggle a bit fighting the monsters that lurk within, but while doing so, they overhear that the Reverend's son is named Israphel. Shortly after, the two retreat to regain some lost health, and shortly after this, are disconnected. As the mystery behind Israphel expanded, the two rejoined to find Daisy and the Reverend missing. Despite this, they do their best to complete their quest and find some diamond armor left behind in Daisy's home. They go searching for the Reverend's book shortly after, but do not find it inside his home. Perplexed, the two go searching to ask the Reverend where they can find his book. However, they cannot find them inside the church. Lewis then notices the Reverend's nameplate under the church, as Simon notices the crypt to the right. The two infer that the Reverend must be down there, and venture down into the dark. They find the Reverend looming over a coffin with his back to them. The Reverend turns around surprised, mentioning that, "My Lord told me I would not be seeing you again." Afterwards, the Reverend goes into a fit of madness, attacking the two before being killed by Lewis in self-defense. The two take a sigh of relief after the whole ordeal, as Old Peculiar talks about the Reverend was obsessed with his son's grave. Afterwards, the two decide to burn and salt Israphel's grave. As Simon is looking for a flint and steel, Old Peculiar asks if they've met Israphel before, as they seem to be familiar with him. They respond that earlier that day they had run into him. Old Peculiar remarks that this is impossible, as Israphel had died 5 years ago. Concerned at this sudden discovery, Simon goes to burn Israphel's grave, but while doing so, discovers that there was a hidden passage hidden within Israphel's grave. Shocked at this new discovery, the three of them decide to venture into the dark once again.
It's behind us now.
Ah!
Oh, Pewley's got it. He's got it.
He's a good man. He's a good man. There are spiders. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Through the caverns below the church, our three heroes make a startling discovery. As they reach the end of one of the labyrinthine passages they had been traveling through, they come across a castle surrounded by lava. Inside, they hear a familiar voice. It's Daisy, and she's calling for help. Inside, they can see the nameplate of Israphel as well. Shocked at this new revelation, our three heroes rush in to save Daisy Duke from the evil, undead Israphel. Things would not be easy, however, as the three have to face off against two intimidating figures. The first is the zombie boss. With his stone axe, he guards the door, but is cut down by Simon and Lewis. They enter the castle and meet with the other figure, the creeper boss. The three rush upstairs, but are pushed back by a huge explosion. Quickly gaining their senses, the three search for Daisy and Israphel and notice they have escaped through another passage on top of the castle. With worry in their hearts for their captured friend, they venture into the passage. Inside, they fight more monsters, lighting the way as they go. They notice that this passage is considerably longer than the others. It twists and turns, bringing the three in a number of different directions. So much so it affects their NPC friend, Old Peculiar, as he passes out a few times. After a long trek through the tunnels, the three finally reach a point where they can begin to see some light. With hope in their hearts that their journey might come to an end, they are shocked to find what lies at the end of the tunnel. Emerging from the tunnel, the three find the whole time that this tunnel was leading them back to their nether portal. Old Peculiar remarking, who in Notch's name would be dumb enough to open a hell gate? Embarrassed, the two come to the conclusion that Daisy must have been taken through the portal and it was up to them to bring her back. With that, Season 1 of Shadow of Israphel comes to a close. Shadow of Israphel, for many of us, was our introduction to Minecraft. It was this niche series about two guys trying out a new game that turned into this sort of mystery that led them on this epic adventure. As a kid, this was a dream come true. Who wouldn't want to go on an epic adventure to solve a mystery behind a new game that just came out? There was a sense of mysticism and wonder behind those early versions of Minecraft. Minecraft itself did not have much known about it. However, it was up to you and your buddies to push the boundaries of what was possible. It was up to you and your friends to make those adventures happen. For me, this was the beauty of Minecraft. It was this beautiful world where you could create anything you wanted, while at the same time discovering all sorts of new things. There was no wrong way to play Minecraft, as everyone was sort of figuring out how to play it in the first place. It was because of this that Shadow of Israphel worked so well as a series. No one really knew whether what was happening to Simon and Lewis was real or not. Well, looking back as an adult, it's very clear that all of this was staged. But as a kid, this series was amazing. Our young minds had no way of knowing if this was somehow a new feature people had never come across. A sort of Easter egg that no one had discovered yet. During my rewatch of the series, it's very clear that all of this is scripted by Lewis. In fact, during a stream, Lewis flat out says that Israphel existed only to mess with Simon. and that they had no intention to make Shadow of Israphel into this sort of comedy RPG style series.
Boop, boop. And then one like.
It's funny that it's like Shadow of Israphel wasn't like it wasn't trying to be an RPG series, and it turned into one. Really, like it's kind of just evolved into one, didn't it?
It was originally like a troll kind of thing.
Yeah,
for
because it was
Simon,
like
right?
it was like yeah.
I remember you.
We troll Simon by
talking
building
about it.
stuff in the world and pretending it was part of the game.
Yeah.
Right? And then we brought Israphel in. It was like, hey, look, if this guy has like hacked our server.
Yes.
And then we decided to like fucking make a town full of NPCs and have a story.
This is evident in the numerous points in the series where Lewis hints at things to come, such as asking how far someone can see name tags, or how he conveniently left the server on for some strange guy to join shortly after. There are even a couple times where you can see Israphel in places he shouldn't be, such as on the side of the road and the ground, or the mishaps with the characters losing connection. That was a big tell as well in hindsight. Apparently, Simon did not know what Lewis was planning until the very end, which was around episode 20, which massively aided the authenticity of the whole thing. Simon's reactions to things are probably what kept me along for the ride, as most of the time, he never takes things too seriously, and his reactions/voices for characters are probably one of the best aspects of Shadow of Israphel as a whole.
Why is he here? Why is he building these things? What's going on?
Okay.
We could leave him a message,
whole.
like a calling.
It was because of all of these factors that Shadow of Israphel will go down in history as many people's gateway drug to Minecraft. I would argue that Minecraft wouldn't be as popular as it was today if not for this series, and for that, I'm grateful. Nowadays, I don't play much Minecraft. As a kid, I was on 24/7 with my buddies, but after a while, we all grew up. We changed, and so has Minecraft. There's a mountain of new content compared to when Simon and Lewis began playing. Things got more complex, and so did our lives. But for me, Shadow of Israphel will always serve as a reminder of when things were simpler, when Minecraft was just a silly game about trying to survive your first night. And for that, I'm grateful.